Please place all electronic communication devices on silent or vibrate. And we will begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone would stand, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Holmes?
Father God, we just thank you once more and again for this gathering. Father God, we thank you for that you make available for us, for our students, for our parents and our employees. Lord God, we ask right now that you cover us, and Father God, lead, guide, and direct us. And this in your Son, Jesus' name, we do pray. Let every heart say amen.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. For the record, Mr. Doss could not make it tonight. We don't normally meet on a Wednesday, which is usually a Tuesday, and he could not be here tonight, so we will miss him. To begin, we'll start with the Griffin Spalding County School Spotlight. Mr. Brown?
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, for the opportunity to present our 2022 Spotlight to Orrs Elementary School. Let's give them a hand. How many scholars attend your school? 527. What is your school mascot? Bear, cub. How many faculty and staff members work at your school? 71. A quote from the principal on why you enjoy being the proud principal of Orrs Elementary. I love being the proud principal of Orrs Elementary because every student, staff member, and stakeholder works together to pursue holistic excellence. It is a blessing to lead a team who treats everyone like family and works on behalf of others without regard for themselves. That is the essence of Orrs excellence. Deliberate, collective work to ensure excellence every day in every way. What good things are going on at the school, socially and educationally? Orrs students and staff members engage in initiatives that promote holistic growth and achievement, including Orrs PBIS Cubs of the Week, Cubs of the Month, and Attendance Cubs of the Month. Students who demonstrate positive behavior earn an opportunity to be recognized by their peers in the weekly Cub Run, which is an Orrs tradition. Scholars who maintain consistent positive behaviors are recognized as Cubs of the Month. Scholars with monthly perfect attendance are recognized as Cubs of the Month. Restorative practices. Orrs scholars and staff use restorative practices to help scholars learn strategies for working through conflict or disagreements to ensure positive outcomes. Orrs Employee of the Month recognition, staff monthly birthday recognition, monthly staff PBIS activity or surprise. STEM Gems, academic mentoring program for girls interested in STEM careers. This program provides academic mentoring and exposure to women working in science, technology, engineering, and math careers, which Orrs scholars may pursue in the future. The Gentlemen of Orrs mentoring program for boys. This program provides academic and social mentoring, including exploration of career paths. Orrs students are moving forward in math. Students are using modeling and discussion groups to increase math proficiency. Orrs Reading Initiative. Students are increasing reading proficiency by reading level passages that explore topics addressed in the GSCS social studies and science frameworks. Students, you have a voice in a space in which they are able to use restorative practices, specifically restorative circles, and give each valued contributor to collective learning experiences that benefit everyone. What are you doing to promote scholars, families, and staff? Academic recognition and inclusion of cultures represented at Orrs. Students and staff learn about cultures through reading and discussing academic materials to gain an appreciation for the diversity that exists at Orrs and in the world. Workshops for parents and students designed to provide direct support and inclusion of speakers of other languages. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Orrs Elementary School. At this time, we invite the principal, the staff, and the scholars of the school to come up and receive your Board Recognition Award for the month. Congratulations. Madam Chair, that concludes our spotlight.
I don't see it on
I'm glad it was you and not me.
All right, next we have the Griffin Spalding County School System announcements. Mr. Brown?
Good evening, everyone. Is this on? Okay. Good evening, everyone. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Harrison Whitmore. I'm a senior at Griffin High School and a member of Dr. Simmons' Student Advisory Council. Mr. Pugh asked me to be here tonight to read the announcements for you all. Let's see. November is National Parent Engagement Month. November is also Family Engagement Month. November 8th is National STEM and STEAM Day. November 11th is Veterans Day. November 15th through 19th is American Education Week. Tuesday, November 15th is the Board of Education work session here at 216 South 6th Street at 4 p.m. November 19th is Substitute Educator Day. November 21st through 25th is the Griffin Spalding County School System Thanksgiving break. November 30th through December 2nd is the 2022 annual GSBA/GSSA conference. December 5th through 9th is Inclusive Schools Week. Tuesday, December 6th is the Griffin Spalding County Board of Education meeting here at 216 South 6th Street at 6 p.m. And Tuesday, December 20th is the A.Z. Kelsey graduation at the Griffin Auditorium at 9:30 a.m. That's all.
Thank you.
It's our announcements, Madam Chair.
I know all of you in the audience are admiring my pearls I have on tonight. I want to share with you where I got them. I read at Pearls, Pumps, and Books for Beaverbrook Elementary School, which is one of the two schools in my district, and they gave me pearls on the way out the door, and I have worn them every day since. Even with a t-shirt or a sweatshirt, because people come up to me and ask me, Sue, why are you wearing pearls? So I think it's a great way to start the conversation about what we're trying to do in our district with using community people to read to our children. And it's always a thrill to go to the schools. And Mr. Brown, just want to recognize you for these two initiatives, Pearls, Pumps, and Books, and then in the spring, Real Men Will Read to the Guys. So thank you, Mr. Brown. And thank you, Mr. McGavin, for the opportunity to come to Beaverbrook. It's always a pleasure. All right, next we have adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Hang on just a second. Mr. Shepherd?
Madam Chair, amendment actually pertains to the consent agenda, so if you want to wait until the board addresses the consent agenda, then I would.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Mr. Brown, we have a motion. We have
Second.
We have a second. Well, actually, we have 2 seconds. Let me get in order here. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you very much. 4-0. Now we have recognitions. Ms. Cook?
Thank you. We always know when we have a full house that we have special recognitions, and that is the case tonight. The first recognition is ACES Retired Educators Club, Mr. Adam Pugh.
All right, thank you. And in Pearls, Pumps, and Books, we actually had 81 ladies from the community that read all at the same time. It was a great day. And along those same lines, this first recognition is a group of retired educators, the ACES Club, and they have been investing as members of the community in our students as well. So let me tell you a little bit about ACES. Griffin Spalding County Schools is thankful to be able to recognize ACES Charter Club of Sun City Peachtree for their influence and impact. The ACES Club is comprised of retired educators living in Sun City. They have over 390 years of combined educational experience between their members. They've created a parent academy at Atkinson Elementary School to help provide resources, tips to parents so that they might help their students with literacy, reading, and math. They mentor students, they share life skills and parenting tips, and they're working to organize the parents and build trust in the community at Atkinson Elementary School. So thank you. Please come forward. We've got a certificate, and we'll take a photo with the board, but let's hear it for our ACES Club, Sun City. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you
Next.
again. Our next,
Go
well,
ahead.
I'm sorry.
While
you
you,
go
no,
ahead.
while you're up there,
Yeah,
go
don't
ahead,
let me
because
get
you're
in
on
here.
for the next four. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I
The
don't.
Cowan Road Middle School football team, I encountered them as I was parking tonight, and they are all excited about being here, and we're all excited about honoring them. So take it away, Mr. Pugh.
Absolutely. So we're excited to announce that under Coach Qualeen Barham, we would like to recognize the Cowan Road Middle School for winning the West Georgia Middle School Championship. Woo! Bring up that trophy for the photo. Yep, all the representatives of Cowan Road Middle School football team, come on up. We got this fancy hardware. Y'all get a big group photo. Congratulations.
Let's get Principal Akers to come up as well.
Miss LaShonda Akers, Cowan Road Middle School Principal. And I understand that next they'll play in the Turkey Bowl against, they'll kind of create an all-star team and play against other regions' all-star teams. So that's coming up.
To who? Sure.
Next, the 2022 REACH Scholars, Mr. Adam Pugh.
Wonderful, and this is an exciting program, the REACH Scholarship. And we had the signing ceremony earlier today at the Kiwanis Club meeting. So these students have been selected from a very competitive pool of applicants. 8th grade students are eligible to apply, and these 5 students have committed to maintaining a C grade point average or better, having good attendance, good conduct, and upstanding citizenship. They will have an academic coach and a mentor through their high school experience. Then upon graduation, they will receive $10,000 to a Georgia college. And this $10,000, yeah, go ahead and clap for that. So that $10,000 will stack on top of any other financial aid, such as the Pell Grant, any other scholarships, such as Hope Scholarship or Zell Miller. and this will be applied toward any Hope-eligible Georgia secondary institution. So I'll call them one at a time, and if you don't mind, you can come and shake hands with each board member, but then remain up here, and then we'll take a group photo of all of you guys, but we'll recognize you one at a time. And first, I'd like to call Draven Caldwell from Cowan Road Middle School. You just come right up here and shake their hand. Our next Reach Scholar, Zara Flores from Carver Road Middle School. Elijah Jackson from Carver Road Middle School. Skylie Hayes from Rehoboth Road Middle School. And Emily Wilkins from Kennedy Road Middle School. So while these Reach Scholars gather and take a group photo with our board, I'll tell you a little bit more about the program. Like I said, it's awarded to 8th graders, and then that's encouragement to stay the course, and it's waiting on them when they graduate, hopefully to go right along with other scholarships. I can tell you this is the 6th year that we've participated in this Reach Scholarship program. So last year was the first graduating class, and all 5 of the Reach Scholars graduated eligible to receive their $10,000. So that was great. And we know these guys will graduate eligible and receive that $10,000. Our goal is for them to get that money, and the money comes from community partners. They all pay in a community portion, and then the state matches with the balance of that sum. And so we're appreciative of those community partners as well. Congratulations. Thank you. Moms and dads of Reach Scholars, do you mind standing for a sec? Let us clap for you. We're proud of your students, very much so. And so is our community, and that's demonstrated in Rotary Club, Kiwanis Club, Marucan Vinegar, Chick-fil-A, and Brightmoor Hospice, who have all invested in these kids through this scholarship program.
And the last one is Sky O'Dorian, Kennedy Road Middle School, 6th grade student, Mr. Adam Pugh.
And this is another student that we're very proud of, and we're fortunate to have so many students to be so very proud of. But Miss Sky Oduaron, Kennedy Road Middle School, 6th grade student, we'd like to recognize and celebrate Sky. She has been selected as a student reporter for the award-winning Scholastic Magazine program. Woo. She has press credentials, and she'll be reporting on current events. She'll be helping create content that's viewed by students all over the world, millions and millions of students all over the world. Woo! She just met former President Barack Obama this past weekend. Pretty cool, amazingly cool, remarkably cool, right? So there are only 15 Scholastic student reporters in the United States, and there are only 29 such reporters in the world. So we are very pleased to have you as a Scholastic student reporter. from Griffin Spalding. So Sky, our district attorney, wanted me to tell you, you can use those press credentials to get into sporting events for free. So take full advantage. My department, being the communication department, is very excited and looking forward to working closely with Sky and her family to try to help connect her with some interesting stories so that she can create content not only for students all over the world, but also for students in our district. So we're grateful to have a new employee, a new student reporter. Would the Oduaron family, would you stand, please, and let us recognize you as well? We've got several students and mom there. So they're relatively new to Griffin and to Georgia. They moved from Massachusetts, and so welcome to town, and we're glad to have you here, and we're excited to see all the great things you're going to get to do. And she gets to be this student reporter for, I believe, 4 years. Is that until you're 14? Is that correct? That's awesome. So we're excited about that. Three plus years. So. Very remarkable. We're excited with you. And for all of these amazing students, we want to make sure that we read, write, speak, and solve every day, and we want to highlight all the amazing things you're accomplishing. Thank you very much for all the great things that are going on.
Yeah, get you later.
Well, what a great evening with our retired educators, our athletes, and our outstanding scholars. Thank you to each one of you. We wish you the very best in the future, and we look forward to hearing great things from all of you. Thank you. Madam Chair, that concludes my report.
Thank you so much. And being a Sun City resident, I wanted to give a big shout out to my neighbors who give so much of their time and talent to our community, not only the Sun City community, but the community in general. Sun City has some of the most giving people I have ever met in my life. It's the kind of neighborhood you just want to go down the road, knock on a front door. Can you just give me a 10-minute snippet of your life? Go to the next door and do the same. That's the kind of people that are in Sun City. So thank you for being here. I appreciate the board recognizing District 5 people that get out in our community and work. And I've always said the work I do here, it's all about giving back to my community. And we appreciate everyone in the room that was recognized tonight, especially as a former 6th grade teacher. A 6th grader winning that kind of award is incredible. So thank you to all of you. Thank you to the families that came tonight. And thank you, Mr. Pugh, for doing such a great job. Next, we have public comments. Do we have any public comments, Ms. Ray? Okay, thank you. Now is the time, if you need to leave or you would like to leave the meeting before we get into the business portion, you're welcome to do that. We'll take about a 2-minute recess. We appreciate all of you being here tonight, and congratulations to everyone. Consent agenda items, Mr. Shepherd?
Madam Chair, I would ask that the board consider amending the resignation list. The last name on the list, Jan Driscoll, amended by taking her name off the list of resignation.
All right, do I have a motion?
Yes, so moved to remove Ms. Driscoll's name from the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. All right, 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Shepherd. And,
Now you got to still approve the consent agenda.
oh, sorry. Now we need to approve the consent agenda as amended.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
You're welcome.
Sometimes I get ahead of myself. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shepherd. All right, we have action items, policy BCBI, Dr. Warren. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, board members.
Good evening.
The superintendent wants to recommend your approval of policy BCBI as it relates to public participation in board meetings as revised and presented. It's been revised to align with our new state law, code section 20-2-58. This policy has been out for first read for 30 plus days, actually since September 6th board meeting. It was reviewed and revised in our September 20th board retreat. And it's recommended that you approve it tonight for second reading, approval, and final adoption.
All right, do I have a motion?
I do have a motion. I would like to make this comment before making this motion. I just want to thank Dr. Warren, Superintendent, for their collaboration and work with the Board of Education for this particular policy. We know that there were several revisions and we were able to put our heads together and do good work for our community. And so just want to say thank you to the board's support in helping to lead this policy, and I would like to make a motion for passage.
Okay. Motion?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. All right, 4-0. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Dr. Simmons, could I just request something, since this is something that I feel like the community need to be abreast of?
Yes, sir.
Could we kind of highlight this on our web page or something showing that, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. We'll get it taken
For
care of.
those who will go on there. We might need to put it on Facebook in the discussion page.
Understood. We will get it taken care of, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. And
Thank you, Mr. Leader.
thank you, Mr. Brown, for your work on this also. That is a tremendous talent that you have, and it's just want to recognize your talents with regard to policy. All right, Ms. Battle, licensed counseling services for employees.
Yes. Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, and Superintendent Simmons. I want to first thank you for the opportunity to grant the request to provide our employees professional counseling services. We've entered into an agreement with Dr. Savage, and I've included for you her resume, her flyer, some background information about the services that she's able to provide. This was an expenditure that was approved when we did the fiscal year 23 budget, and she is available pretty much on demand. She is available to meet with our employees that need additional emotional support, perhaps a fitness for duty. She is providing wellness coaching services, and she even has after school, evening hours. So I just wanted to bring that back to you to let you know that we found someone that can meet our needs and our expectations, and we are very excited about having her join our team. And it is a contracted services agreement paid out of ESSER funds, and so we will review it each year to see if we can continue.
The only comment I had, Ms. Battle, was how will, knowing that this is for our employees, how will this information be disseminated to them?
Certainly. We've already started with updates in the weekly communicator. We promoted on our social media. And she also has a space in our Kick-Up platform. That's our professional learning where we have at-home learning days. And she has an opportunity. She already has 2 sessions scheduled for this Friday to help our employees.
Very good. Thank you. All right, do I have a motion?
Before we do that, Madam Chair, if I could, I just want to say that with everything that teachers are experiencing at this moment, whether if it's teacher burnout, whether if it's not being able to, cope with certain things, this is a great human resource for our employees to know that we care about them. We want to support their mental health, and I just want to say thank you, Mrs. Battle, for leading this, to let our employees know that we care and we value them, and that if they need help, that resource is available to them.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Battle. All right, did we vote on that?
So move, Madam Chair.
Okay, have a motion?
Second.
All right, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you, 4-0. Thank you, Ms. Battle. All right, next we have the purchase of book vending machines. Dr. Taylor? And that looks like...
Yes,
Dr.
ma'am. That
Is
is
Dr. Moore?
We have a
that
new
is
Dr.
Dr.
Taylor.
Taylor. No, I'm just joking. Dr. Taylor is actually attending a conference we have here. Ms. Tokian Goodman, who will be presenting this information to you all.
Sorry, I didn't recognize you, Ms. Goodman.
No problem.
Y'all
Good
know
evening.
who she is, right?
Sir, she is a bucket. I'm just joking. She's not a bucket. Sorry.
Falcons are in the first place.
All right.
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Simmons. So Griffin Spalding County School System's Literacy Plan, Reading Improvement for Student Excellence, focuses on early reading skills, foundational reading skills, and disciplinary literacy skills. One of the action steps of the literacy plan is to provide each school and 3 community sites with a bookworm vending machine. Each book vending machine will hold 200 to 300 books and up to 20 different book titles. And we want to use these book vending machines as positive literacy to promote positive literacy behaviors. Students will be assigned tokens. They will receive tokens as a reward, and these tokens will be used to vend books of their choices. Media specialists, along with the District Literacy Advisory Committee, will work together to choose age-appropriate books for each grade level. We would like to the superintendent recommends approval to purchase 21 book vending machines for each school and 3 community sites to reward and promote literacy using ESSER funds. This expenditure will not exceed $150,000.
Can you tell me, before we vote, can you tell me a little bit about this program and how you found it and what you know about it, and just give us a little bit more background, please?
I can. So the book worm vending machine is from the Global Vending Group, and so it was actually they've actually been into several schools, and they're using it for PBIS program supports. How I found it, actually it came up through the Literacy Advisory Committee is how I first heard about it. And like I said, it would just be up to 20 titles in a vending machine. We would be able to select those books.
And if I'm a student at Cowan Road Middle, I receive a token via PBIS?
Via PBIS, and the Literacy Advisory Committee will set criteria for how students will receive, what they would do to receive those tokens.
And
for
I
example,
go get...
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, and it may just be making, one example may be making map growth when we take the next map exam or assessment, so students who make growth may receive a token. That's just one example of what criteria.
And I go to the machine, I get my book, I keep the book?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then when I get another token, I can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. That's great.
If I may, Madam Chair, and Ms. Goodman may be able to answer this, what are the 3 community sites?
Yes.
Those have not been selected at the time. The Literacy Advisory Committee will work with other community partners to decide on what the best placement for those book vending machines in the community.
All right. Are you a part of that?
I am.
So with your experience as an educator in our district, You've been also a literacy coach and all those great things. What are some community places you think they should go?
Oh, on the spot. So I think they should definitely be in some areas where we have some students who are a little underserved, and they would actually really, really benefit from being able to get a book in their community.
So,
I don't have any locations.
so a recommendation that I would like to make is a laundromat. So finding a local laundromat, whether if it's in District 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, it doesn't matter. But having it at a laundromat, that's where families are doing laundry. Also turn into a learning opportunity, a moment with our scholars. So if we could find a laundromat, that would be one of those community sites.
I will take that recommendation back to the Literacy Advisory Committee. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
Will schools have any input as to what books are in these machines?
Yes,
Based
ma'am.
on
We
their,
will-
demographics and blah, 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 blah?
Yes, ma'am. We will have, we will work with media specialists as a
Good.
part of the Literacy Advisory Committee to choose age-appropriate, relevant books for the schools.
Very good, thank you.
This is great.
I'd like to see one, I can't wait to see it. That's great.
I want us to do like an unveiling of it.
Yes, yeah, we ought to
Yeah.
make a big deal out of it. That's
Listen,
awesome.
if you guys give us the money, we'll talk about that.
It doesn't cost anything for me to take a sheet off of a machine, does it? Oh, I was just kidding.
Actually, yes, and watching a video on one of them, they actually rolled out a red carpet at a school, had it covered up, did a true unveiling.
All right.
I think that's great. We should do that. That's awesome. Thank you. All right, any other comments or questions, board members?
I know we were kind of laughing about it, but we need to tell our own story.
Sure.
We need to maybe get the local newspaper, put it on our web. We need to really advertise that. So I hope that's done and pushed. Yeah, because that's that's big. So, thank you.
Yes,
If
yes,
the-
I agree. As a reader, I agree. I'm excited for it.
I can remember one time driving back from Savannah, the summer meeting for Georgia School Board Association, and the one thing I learned, it was early in my tenure, the one thing I learned is we've got to tell our own story. We've got to learn how to tell our own
We've got to
positive
tell our own
stories.
story.
And that is so true, Mr. Holmes, and I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes,
And this is
yes.
another one, this is a great example of an opportunity for us to tell that story. So,
Let me get some extra points. Griffin Spalding County School System will set and create a distinctive brand.
Yes.
that's great.
You don't get no raise for that.
See, I'm asking for money for the wrong thing.
Mr. Holmes, you want to make that motion?
Yes, I move that we approve and accept and also support this unveiling of these vending machines.
All right, have a motion?
Ms. Cook, you want a second?
I move.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. All right, 4-0. Thank you. Delivery on these machines will be, what's the time frame there, Mrs. Goodman?
I do not have a time frame. I will need to get back with the Literacy Advisory Committee and go with, I'm assuming get with Ms. Austin to make
Okay.
purchase.
Because we got to get ready for it.
This Literacy Advisory Committee is a powerful committee.
It is.
We got to get ready.
We have some heavy hitters.
All right, thank you so much. Good to see
Thank
you.
you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You guys have more?
And I believe you have the next one.
Yes, I was about to say. Okay, continuing with literacy. The Griffin Spalding County Schools elementary principals, assistant principals, instructional coaches, and select district administrators are participating in letters or signings of reading training. So LETTERS stands for Language Essentials for Teachers of Reading and Spelling, and these participants have to complete 8 units of study as a part of this training over the course of 2 years. The 8 units of studies are divided into 2 volumes. The board has already approved the use of materials and trainings for LETTERS. I'm coming before you tonight to request stipends for participants that will compensate them for their time spent improving their knowledge, skills, and capacity to be literacy leaders. If approved, each participant will earn a stipend of $300 per unit of study if they receive a certificate of mastery for each unit, and an additional $250 for each volume if they achieve 80% or higher on those assessments. So the recommendation is that the Griffin Spalding County School System Board of Education approves the use of ESSER funds to pay stipends to participants who complete their units of studies at mastery not to exceed $125,000.
How will schools and participants be selected?
Yeah.
So it's the elementary, because we are doing the science of reading. We have the OG approach in the elementary schools, so we're training elementary principals, assistant principals, and instructional coaches to lead that work.
Okay.
I think this is really good, and I think we also can, let me ask this question. It looks like the total cost is $124,000, but you're asking for $125,000, right?
Not to exceed $125,000.
Okay. So what is the stipend that each leader will get? I know we're looking at the certificate of mastery of each unit. Is that included in this? Is that a separate stipend, or is it just their stipend is getting paid for this certificate?
The $125,000 will include that. So that we have about 40 participants right now in the letters training. We've actually are already started. And so if a participant or each participant receives a certificate of mastery for Unit 1, we're asking to pay that stipend of $325, and then for each unit that they receive a certificate of mastery in. And then at the end of each volume, so the volumes are separated into the units. So units 1 through 4 are in volume 1. So then there's another assessment at the end of volume 1 that covers units 1 through 4. And so we're asking that if they pass that assessment at an 80% or above, that we pay them that additional $250 for that assessment.
Okay. And the other question was, trying to think how I want to, because I'm still kind of unclear.
Okay. So as you see it kind of itemized there, you'll see certificate of mastery of the units for each unit. So there are 8 units. So we're asking to pay $325 for 8 units, for each unit, for one participant, and there are about 40 participants. And then at the end of each volume, which covers units 1 through 4 and then units 5 through 8, we're asking for an additional $250 for each volume to go to each of the 40 participants that meet mastery.
But that's only for their certificate of mastery. It's not a personal stipend for them. It's for a part of the program.
It's if they make mastery. If they make an 80% or higher.
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brown, it actually is a stipend for them. And in many ways, the stipend is meant to cover the amount of time that it would take to complete the units and the volumes and perform at the mastery level of 80%. What I'll share with you, I dabbled in this work in my former life, and I just couldn't commit to it. It was too much time for me, and fortunately I wasn't responsible for leading the work. This is a common practice for school systems who are using the letters program. It's the equivalent of graduate level work in terms of the amount of time, the amount of studying. But these funds, what may be misleading is that we're actually looking to cover 2 years. So this totality of $124,000 covers 2 years, not just 1.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Simmons.
And how will you be tying this into the read, write, speak, and solve?
sir. So, at the fundamental level, it's difficult to lead what you don't know, and it's even more difficult to be supportive in that manner. This is an opportunity for us to engage these, for now, leaders, principals, assistant principals, coaches, with regards to an effective implementation. We will use the same model for teachers, but this is really about moving from simply wanting to discuss the value of teaching reading, but to understand the value of the science of reading so that we don't begin or continue to confuse the two. But to do this and to do it well, two things are in the queue. We've got to be able to sustain or incentivize the time commitments, but we also want to demonstrate the loyalty and hope that it enables us to retain these individuals after they've picked up this additional skill set. This is a part of that. So while there are no guarantees, our belief is, for me rather, this is about loyalty. This is about honoring their time. This is about demonstrating an understanding of the level of commitment. So we give them a stipend. And with regards to a sustainable model, we'll work through that. What I'm looking for is the number of the 40 who will be able to keep up. And my belief is the schools in which those 40 participants are will be better because of it.
Absolutely. And when you think about cutting edge things going on in education, initiatives and programs, this is just another way that we are pouring into and investing into our teachers in our district. And so something I definitely support.
Could I ask a question? And I think Ms. Battle would probably be the one to aim it at. I know in my previous life when we actually compensated employees for going and doing advanced degrees, getting certifications, we had them sign a contract that they would be retained as employees for a certain amount of time. Is that something that we could do attached to this?
We have not had that conversation about this particular incentive. I have seen it done before with endorsements, a commitment for up to 3 years.
Right.
And if you leave, then you pay it back at a prorated amount.
Right.
But I have not had this conversation yet, but I can certainly look further into that.
I'll let the conversation happen between whoever and Dr. Simmons, but just putting that out on the table, that's something to consider.
Yeah, 'cause it seems like, this certification can help with student achievement, and so if it's coming from the best and the brightest, and we say we have 40 and let's say 15 or 30 finish, we definitely want to be able to celebrate them for going through this program. And so that was a good point to bring up, Leader Holmes.
We hope we have all 40 to go through.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions, board members? All right, thank you. Mr. Holmes, I also wanted to thank you for bringing that up. It's a great idea. Thank you. All right, motion?
So moved.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Goodman. Don't forget us now. We're ready to rock and roll. Thank you. All right, next we have Dr. Sauce, policy JGCD.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Simmons. The superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve policy JGCD medication as presented. Revisions are recommended at this time in order to remove regulatory language currently included in the policy. That same regulatory language will be included into regulation JGCD R1. Policy JGCD was recommended for revision to the Board of Education during the September 4th, 2022 business meeting. Within the revised policy, as mentioned, regulatory language will be removed. The policy is now presented to the board for the November 2nd, 2022 Board of Education business meeting for second reading and final board adoption. And I will certainly entertain any questions if there are any.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
All right, Dr. Sauce, how are you today?
Good, how are you, sir?
I am doing well. Thank you for your work on this policy. There were a couple things that were mentioned in the last board meeting. Was there a OCGA connected to this policy?
There is, I think, forgive me, Mr. Brown, I think you might be referring to attendance, compulsory attendance ages?
No, sir, I asked, was there a OCGA for this policy, not another policy?
There's a policy, there's an OCGA attached to a regulation, attached to the regulation.
For this particular
Yes,
policy?
sir.
Do you
Yes.
have that on hand?
It's in
on the
here.
back
Yes,
page.
it is.
Okay.
It's on, I'll actually refer you to the line, sir. It can be found on line 273, 274. Should be on the last page, and it's attached to the regulation.
Can you go over those lines again, please, Dr. Sauce?
Yes, sir. Line 273, 274, 275. It should be on the last page. And again, this is in reference to the regulation.
To the regulation. Okay, I
Yes,
see
sir.
that. Thank you so much for
Yes,
answering that question. How many schools out of, and this is for all of our programs, would Program Challenge be considered in dispersing medications?
Program Challenge, you may know, does not have a nurse. So the assistant there, Ms. Beatty, for students who have medication needs, she is able to distribute them. She's given training. And then if there's emergency needs, which arises occasionally, the nurse at Orrs Elementary School is the first responder if there's an emergency situation that would arise.
And so what training is a staff member receiving to disperse medications?
It would depend on what the medication is, but I mean, the most common example would be diabetics. Of course, you know, I used to work closely with Program Challenge in my prior role, so that would be the most abundant example. We do have some diabetic students that attend Program Challenge, and there's training associated with diabetic care. I wouldn't want to give you any additional inaccurate information without further looking into, so I could get you more clarity if there are students above the needs of diabetic care at Program Challenge. I'm not certain right this second.
Okay. So how many, roughly, do you know how many students roughly get medication dispersed to them in our district?
Throughout the district?
Yes, sir.
I would have to get back to you on that. I can get that data, but I don't have that offhand. I mean, there would be hundreds.
And this is a policy that you want us to approve on second reader, and you know, maybe the questions were not asked prior, but they're being asked now, and now we are supposed to vote on a policy and we don't have the information to, Dr. Sauce.
About as far as number of students receiving medication?
Number of students receiving medications, the type of trainings that would happen.
I can get you that information.
But what good does that do for the policy tonight, Dr. Sauce?
Can you get it tonight, Dr. Sauce?
I can't get it tonight. I'll have to get.
Okay,
I'll have to get
jokes
you more
up, man.
information.
Okay, jokes up.
This your last meeting, man.
This is Dr. Sauce's last meeting, so we had to get him good tonight. How do we do, guys?
Pretty well.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion to pass the last policy that Dr. Sauce will have in our district, the review policy of JGCD, to pass on second read as is. So moved.
Mr. Brown, will you
I'm handing out Oscars tonight. Y'all are getting Oscar awards. Mr. Brown's going to accept his Oscar speech now. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
But Tim, why didn't you jump in?
We had to do it, Dr. Sauce.
Now you see how much they love you? They're getting numbers in the back for you.
Lord have mercy.
Madam Chair,
You know, Mr. Brown, their time is up. I can't say anything.
I was waiting for you to actually gavel me.
I was getting ready to, because I was getting tired of hearing you, to be honest with you.
Oh, God. Thank you guys for going along. I appreciate it.
Lord have mercy. I thought Brown, just shut up. Yes, sir.
So, Sauce, if you recall yesterday from our prep, this was the prep. So the peppering that you got from me yesterday was because I knew that you would get peppered today. But you handled it well yesterday, and you handled it well today. So kudos to you, sir.
That's good. That's good.
Dr. Sauce, for me personally, we've already emailed and talked, and I'm just really going to miss you. I can't say a whole lot because I'll get upset. I don't want to get upset. But thank you for being you. Thank you for the work you've done for this district. Thank you for the work you've done for everyone in this room. Wish you nothing but the best. I could always depend on you for an answer. Usually got it before sundown. And, when Dr. Warren was interim, I'd go, it's not a 911, but I'd have an answer within an hour. And you're the same kind of guy. And I just really appreciate you and wish you nothing but the best. Thank you. That was good, Centel.
Okay, so I made the motion. Anybody want? Leader Holmes, a second.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. 4-0. Hallelujah.
And same sentiments to Dr. Sauce. Wish you well in your new journey in education. There are a lot of things that I can say about you, and I appreciate the work that you've done in education and continue to do. Best wishes to you, and you're just a phone call away, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, board.
Madam Chair, since we're here at the end, I don't see board member comments. Can we?
No, you've already had your time. you and Brown are done. No, just kidding. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I just wanted to take it a little further because I missed last meeting and haven't had a chance to really converse with the staff. And when I say staff, I'm talking about system-wide. There's some people that are resigning or moving on or retiring, and I would be remiss not to make mention of them. See, Ms. Crawford, and these are people that I've spent a lot of time with, and if you remember, board, I said when we hired and brought on Dr. Warren, Dr. Sauce, I told you they've been here longer than I expected because they have done the quality of work that would not allow them to stay in the position they are in here at Griffin Spalding County. And I made that very clear to them, so I didn't expect nothing else but that, because when you're in an organization, you should be preparing people to leave in advance. And it's a happy, sad time, but it was to be. So Ms. Crawford and those that are resigning, retiring, or whatever it may be, those that are on the cusp of moving on, it's a sad time for us, but believe me, we are so happy for you. And what I want to say to the staff, I know it's been tough. It's been tough. It's been tough for all of us. I know coming in, I'm not going to mention no name. We was talking, and it's like it's one thing after another that we're having to deal with. This is just our season. This is our season. This too shall pass. But I want each and every one, teacher, custodian, nutrition, everyone, to know how much we appreciate what you're doing with our scholars, and it's not going unnoticed. And if I could, I'd buy each and every one of you a can of Vienna and soda crackers, but I'm not able to do that. But see, some people know that's a real gift, ain't that right, Doc? That's a real gift. But I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, and we're going to miss you, but we want the best for you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think in light of the roasting I just took, I think I certainly deserve a point of privilege to address the board briefly. If I could, I'd like to just start by saying that I am immensely grateful to this Board of Education for taking a chance on me and being willing to give me an opportunity to serve and do my best work. Especially Mr. Doss obviously is not here as well, but to this board in particular, this board has blessed me with 2 different opportunities to serve and lead in this district, and I can never say thank you enough for that. I'd also like to thank and acknowledge 2 superintendents that I've had the pleasure to serve, both of whom I've learned immensely from, both of whom I'm immensely better for, and both of whom took chances on me. Mr. Jim Smith, retired superintendent, and of course Dr. Keith Simmons, who sits before us today. The 2 deputy superintendents I've had the pleasure to serve that I'm immensely better for working alongside them, Dr. Kawana Kennedy, and of course my guy, they call us Miami Vice, Dr. Donald Warren. I also like to acknowledge that there's so many to name. I obviously can't name everybody I want to thank personally, but someone who's not in this room is my assistant, Lisa Jones. Anybody who thinks I've had any measure of success serving in this district in the 2 roles I've been blessed to serve, anyone who thinks I've had any success standing behind me and singularly responsible for so much of that is my assistant, Lisa Jones, who I'm going to dearly miss working with. I'll certainly keep in touch with. But I also owe an immense debt of gratitude, too. I just want to say about this district is on the rise. This district has so much to be proud of. There are folks around the state that are looking at this district for examples for how to have success in a variety of realms, too many to name. This is an award-winning district, and I hope that every member of the community, every member of this organization knows that this is an exceptional place to work and an exceptional place to lead, teach, and learn. I will forever be better for my experiences serving in this community, and I just can't say enough thank you to this board in particular for your confidence. And thank you to every employee, every student, family, community partner, so many of whom I've been blessed to build great relationships with, and I owe a debt of gratitude to. And I just appreciate, Madam Chair, you let me say a few words, but just thank you is all I can say. Thank you.
Sir,
and I'll forever take Griffin with me in any travels that I take.
Woo!
So thank you.
Mr. Brown, did you bring a cake do you have a cake for him?
No, not at all.
Because you're the lead, whack-a-mole. Thank you, Dr. Sauce. All right, board members, your information items include the employee basic life insurance and ADD and the RFP for substitute staffing services. And I believe that concludes the business of this board. Do we have anything for executive session?
No.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Then I would like a motion to adjourn.
Walk it out.
We have a motion.
Walk it out. Second.
We have a motion in 2 seconds. All right. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you for being here.